some big schools, they will tell their teachers, just go train yourself. All we are after is come, let's train you. Come and give us what you've equipped yourself with. For us to develop the system, you in particular, you need to be developed first. Because if you are not developed as a teacher, the system itself can't be developed. So I want us to look at this opportunity as a great one. Not because you are going to benefit Gladden'S International School, because by the time or day you walk out of that gate and say bye-bye to Gladden'S, Gladden'S will not remove all those things back here. You will go with them. Probably you go to somewhere else and add value to that very place. So why am I saying this? Let us not do it as usual. Okay, it's a normal staff seminar before the school resumption, but let us understand that there is something at stake. A director just talked about mediocrity that has to do with the teachers themselves and the learners, the pupils. And we are here to look at how best we can battle that deficiency. That mediocrity itself is a deficiency. How can we battle it? That is where you come in as well. We can't say we are on our own. No man is an island, because we all have to work in hand to make sure that this thing works. My job here is very simple. We want to introduce ourselves, and the pattern of this introduction is the person that is seated beside you. I want to see if as teachers we can really manage information and handle information very well. The introduction is going to take shape this way. You are going to introduce yourself to the next person that is seated beside you. You are going to introduce yourself to the person, and then the person will now in turn introduce you. Are we following? This is my neighbor. Assuming this is my neighbor. So I am going to introduce myself to this my neighbor, and my neighbor will also introduce to me, and then I will introduce him to the hearing of everybody, while he also, whether he or she, will introduce me also to the hearing of everybody. Are we ready? Okay, please let's do it. This one we are not giving this thing. Just introduce yourself to the next person seated beside you. Says, or we Christians says, that we should give honor to whom honor is due. Is it the Bible? I want to know, Bible students, is it the Bible? Or we Christians says we should give honor? It's just like saying heaven help those that help themselves. Is it in the Bible? So there's a saying that says that we should give honor to whom honor is due. I bet you, when I saw certificate and it's just 1,000 naira, I am not standing here to maybe brag. I have been in a place whereby I have to pay for my own training that is not as rich as this, with the sum of 5,000 naira. I lie not. Someone will just come in the next 2 hours briefly, blah, 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 and everything is done. And the fee, who want you to eat now? The fee is 5,000 naira. And as a staff in that place, it was mandatory, compulsory, so that you don't have any choice. When alert will enter, your 5,000 has developed wings, and it's flying away from you. So you don't have any option. And they do this twice a term during midterm break that will be declared. Pupils will go for midterm break and the staff will stay back, and you pay for it. So for us to come here and we are told to pay 1,000 naira, I think it's almost like being free. Let us be very, very realistic. It's almost like being free, because the certificate will add value to your CV. For those of us that have big CVs, you say, a certified this. It add portfolio, isn't it, Mr. Bassi? Am I? So let's appreciate the director of this great school. It is not easy. Every day, every night, he is sitting down in his office, thinking, solving the net, looking for how to make the system work. There are so many people that are called educationists, but they don't have this time. The only aspect is the one that concern them is just to balance their account, because they will tell you at the end of the whole thing is business. But here, I must confess, is different. So please, without much ado, let's give a round of applause to the director. Thank you. And with that, we have also introduced him, but you will get to know him better when he is standing here to talk to us. You will really love the way he talks and the way he is going to. I have come to see somebody that I want to always be around him, because there is no time I will be around him without learning something, adding to what I have already known, and is helping me. And then, before we still do our general introduction, we cannot leave out this very important person that is here in our midst. There is no how you can maneuver anywhere in this school without meeting her. It's not possible. If you like, when you enter from the gate, just disappear. Something must take you to her office. You will have to meet with her one-on-one. And that is to tell you that she is in charge everywhere. You either, while standing teaching, you see her appearing. The first day I was standing teaching, when I came here newly, she appeared. My liver left me. I was like, what is this woman looking for now? I am in trouble. Please, without wasting much of our time, let's appreciate our head of school in the person of the Yes, we are going to be learning so much in this seminar, not just what we have for you, but make sure you put yourself through. It is no longer said hello, hi. Yes, check it very well. It is hello, then the response still go hello. It's no longer hello, hi. No, it's no longer obtainable. Do you know why we are giving this information? It is assumed, and that is how it should be, that teachers knows all. I was teaching a child, and I taught a child in grade 1 that we have 7 continents in the world. A child went home and told the father that he's a medical doctor that have been practicing for more than 30 years. That, Daddy, my teacher says we have 7 continents in the world. The father said, no, the last time I checked, it was 5. The boy looked at the father and told the father, you don't know anything. My teacher can never be wrong. You see how pupils can believe their teacher. That means we should be careful not to give them the wrong thing. Because if you give them the wrong thing, they end up going in life with that wrong thing. We are told that children are clean slates. What is a clean slate? Something that has not been written anything on. So we teachers are the ones doing what? Writing on them. So you have to be careful what you write on them. It has happened here in this school that a child went home and told the father or the parent, he said, I want to use the restroom. And the parents were confused. Which one is restroom, Pani? We don't have any special room that we will go and rest. He said, go to your room now. The boy said, no, I want to use the restroom. It's no longer called toilet. It is restroom. And the parent did not know. Thank God, Gladden'S has opened the boy's mind to know that that is how it's called. Okay, now, I think I have entertained us a bit. Okay, now let's introduce ourselves, the person that we just do, as I say, that is called paired introduction. So that means you will introduce the other person and the other person introduce you. Please, let's be very snappy about it. We are far behind time. Final rules. Number 1, put phone in silent. Every phone should be on silent. Number 2, no chorus answer. We should not give any chorus answer. Number 3, no loitering. Number 4, no pull down. Number 5, respect others' view. Number 6, maintain time. Number 7, no distraction.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elders Akambasi. I will be talking on the theme of this seminar, educational mediocrity and duty of educators to battle the deficiency of learners. We will try as much as possible to be using the term learners instead of pupils or students. We are going to be correcting that throughout our activities in this school. So just want to inform you that. Next slide. We are going to look at the definition of some terms based on the theme. Next. Educator. We refer to two sets of people. Someone who have teaching skills and the other one who is an administrator in education. There are many who are educators, but they are not teachers. They have studied to some extent that they make a lot of inputs in the educational system, but they are not teaching. But also know that when you are having a teaching skill as a teacher, you are referred as what? Educator. Next slide. We are going to look at educational. Sometimes we see a school who will put a description on their vehicle, educational. Some will put education. Others will say no. It's supposed not to be education. It's supposed to be educational. Okay? But we're going to understand what is educational. If something is referred as educational, that means it teaches you some new information. Mr. Paul, you are part of this. And that impacts new skills or knowledge. What that means is that something like this seminar, you can go back and tell somebody that seminar was very educated or educational. Now, it could also be put in this way. Educational refer to the action or process of educating or of being educated according to Webster Dictionary. In our own part as school, educational is the field of study that deals mainly with methods of teaching and learning in schools. Next slide. Mediocrity. If you use your dictionary or in your phone, American app or dictionary, you will see the correct way of pronouncing this. British may pronounce mediocrity, but the American will pronounce mediocrity. So that IO is sounding as EA. Okay, if you refer to the word mediocrity, this means that you are below value, average, or standard. That is to say, you cannot input, you cannot bring something good. Your level is not to be used. That is to say, mediocrity is state's quality of being mediocrity. If you check your dictionary, you know what mediocrity is. That is the definition. That means moderate, low quality, low value, low ability, low performance, or you are ordinary. When we say our fee is moderate, it means it's affordable. That is to say, the least, what you can afford, that is low. I don't know if you understand. So when we talk about educational mediocrity, it means what you are doing as educationist or educator is not of standard. It's not of what? Standard. So, next slide. Duty. Don't forget we are trying to define terms found in our theme. This is just a moral or legal obligation engaged in or responsible for an assigned task or duty. Some of us have been given responsibilities, and some of us, as we are coming, will be engaging you, will be giving you responsibility, and as educator, you have a duty. So we'll be giving tasks to do what? To operate. Can you close that door? I think the mouse is on. Close it well. Next slide. Deficiency. I am one of the persons that I do not celebrate when I see 2-3 learners, giving me what I want, and now forget about the rest. If you look at the story in the scripture, the man that owned 100 sheep, one went astray, but the man left the 99 and run after the one. It is a good example when we are dealing with children. A weak child needs to be given more attention, and a weak child needs to be corrected to the real thing. You don't need to jump and be praising yourself because others are doing well. You will be counted as a unprofessional educator when you are not able to transform a weak child. So when we say you have deficiency in anything, we refer to the quality or state of being defective or of lacking some necessary quality or elements. The quality of state of being deficient or inadequacy. That is to say, at that time, at that moment, you are not able to deliver. They ask you a question you cannot, or you attempt to that, this one you don't have ability to perform. At that moment, that part you are not able to perform, there is deficiency in you. Okay? Students simply means the learners, especially someone who attends a school to study. However, you as educators, you are listening to me, you are becoming who? A learner. So you are all learners because you are going to achieve something today. Next slide. Okay, we are going to look at it again in this way. Educational mediocrity. Next slide. Here will make us to understand what we meant by educational mediocrity. Educational mediocrity, the reason we have this thing, educational mediocrity, duty of educators to battle the deficiency of the learners or students in preparing the staff for the tasks ahead in this academic session, is to tackle and disarm the mediocrity in our educational system in Gladden'S international schools, to encourage them, which is you as a staff, to teach effectively and apply more useful teaching methods for the learner to take something home. You will see many parents believe in that school before they enroll their children. They believe. So that is why every time we try to bring something that will help, give the best to these children. What I used to say to myself is, if I give wrong inputs, I have two daughters here. They will be affected. The admission officer, she has a son here, will be affected. Chidima has children here, will be affected. Ifre has a child here, will be affected, like every one of us, and perhaps every one of us that we want to enroll. If we don't create standard, it will return back to us. Like our people used to say, if you pull at the front of the stream from wherever, whether it is back, you know that the stream, the water does not just come out like this. The one you wash here will move. And before it reaches another set of people, it will filter. People over there will fetch. So whatever you put in there will continue to move. If it is not you again, in some other time that will drink the water, your people and relation from other location will drink from it. So you don't just throw a stone in the market because you don't know if it is your grandmother's shop that the stone will land. You understand? So that is why we come up with this in order to empower you as staff in order to deliver effectively. Next. The seminar, therefore, has embedded plan to increase the quality of educators or teachers by involving them mostly in practical approach as outlined on the program of the events, which you all have the program. Without this type of seminar and staff assessment accreditation, we cannot allow you to handle any of our class or teach any of our pupils, because we may not accept you because of deficiency in you. Sometimes you may be a first class somewhere. We don't dispute that fact. But when you are coming here, we have to assess you and give you what we are doing here. If you want to be the best, you will add what we are doing with your existing knowledge, and then you will be able to deliver what we are looking for. This seminar also, without this seminar, if at the end, like when we ask people to sign, and where you have certificate is that indirectly is compulsory, because you cannot attend the seminar and you don't have anything to prove that you have attended such a seminar. And it's going to be one of the required documents that if we need to increase your salary, we will ask you to arrange all your pay slip, the last pay slip. I know some people will frown that they already threw their last year pay slip. The last pay slip, your last training certificate. Yes. From there, you now know that that certificate that was not important, it was actually necessary. So everybody must have it. Okay, next slide. There are many people out there looking for employment, but you know that some of them don't know their ability. They don't know, but they are looking for the job. But they are looking for the job. The potential in them, they don't know. It is when we have such seminar that they will begin to know that, so I am okay for this. You know? So they do not know their ability in a field they are seeking for employment. And many of them are lower than the standard. Don't forget, our theme is educational mediocrity and so on. So most of them are lower than the standard or skill you expect from an average educator. They are very low. Okay? This, when we have pity and employ them, when we have pity and employ them, there are some of those, right from before today, I have interviewed not less than 20. But at the end, they are not satisfied. There are some that they want to do, I will say no. You will not be able to deliver. from the writing of the test. I said, no, it's not possible. But if I have pity upon that person and we employ, what will happen? Huh? The school will be the one suffering from what I call educational mediocrity. What do I mean by educational mediocrity? That means the quality of education will be lower than expected. You understand? Despite resources you fix. You put everything in order, but that very educator who was unable to attain certain standard will be there. You will not be there. We'll be teaching the children. We employ one staff and NCE. Yes, NCE. When the staff, she entered class and we gave her lesson notes. And the staff went to the board and started addressing the pupils. And it was time to give a note. He started copying notes. He copied notes from lesson plan. He wrote lesson plan. He wrote all the ingredients that is under lesson plan. Time. He wrote. He said, I have a copy. It was one of the people who said, no, we don't use to copy this. It was a shock. Believe me, you, such educator, if you continue to allow that person to be, someone will ask question, who is the owner of the school? Is it actually educationist? However, that can happen in most schools. Yes, because there are many schools that the owners, they are fortunate that they were able to have millions. So when they want to think what to use the millions for, the best way is to establish what? Schools. But they are not part of it. Even to employ a qualified person that will be able to run the system, they will not. Or some, even when they employ, they will not give opportunity for the people to do what? Run it for them. Like our call secretary said, they will be there checking alerts, balancing account. That is their problem. Whether they are teaching well in the class or not, what is after is how many people paid. Let me see the list of the people that have not paid. Though I have been asking my own, let me see the list that have not paid. But it's not that I'm not part of the educational aspect of the children. Okay, next slide. Also, in the same vein, in the absence of organizing this time of training, the standard of teaching we are all preaching about that we have in this school is likely not going to manifest in the life of the learners. Yes. We'll be telling people, this school. Without training like this, everyone will just go to the class and start doing whatever he or she is doing. If we do not caution you, make sure the least child who is unable to perform or attend questions or respond to whatever you are, please try and get that child to follow you. You will not be able to do that. You will continue with the rest you are doing. At the end, all what we say, someone will say, I brought a child here. This is not a child to be going up. He's going down. What is the problem? But this seminar will help us, put things right, and it will challenge you to go and try and put more effort on the child. And what is this that will make people to start thinking is lack of upgrading by the educators? Who? You. Will actually hinder the ability and potentials to bring the best out of the learners. If you do not upgrade, some of us, there was a time we introduced Android, that even though the Android was like how do you call it, the higher purchase, the main purpose was to get you familiar with internet. You use the phone, you explore, you do a lot of things that will help the school system. But I want to let you know that some of us, the only thing we use the phone is WhatsApp, Facebook. You don't use this to create impact in the system. I know some of us stay online 24 hours. My network is almost 24 hours. That's why I know every one of you. I know every one of you. Me, I don't used to sleep because while I am online there, online on laptop. So I will be seeing everybody. Like Angela, I used to see Angela every time. And once he make a comment, I will go see. Be careful with this your comment. So I know. Some of us depend on free mode. Because of the free mode, you cannot see information. Free mode of the Facebook, you cannot have access to WhatsApp. That is why 6 months ago you are not in WhatsApp. We posting information you are not aware. Just like Paul telling us that he thought the star will resume today. I said, wow. Okay, let me just see if. Okay, next slide. Okay, what do we mean by this? Mediocrity. What I reason as educational mediocrity in this context is, I am referring to, you are going to understand it now. I'm referring to those poor and ineffective or inefficient teaching methods and process of teaching educators you apply while teaching, which affected indirectly the learners. Because there are a lot of teaching methods. You see the class is boring and you are there still talking. No other your own is teacher learners approach. Talk you until those children are teaching people. There is a lot of problem. You are there. You don't even apply no other methods. By the time you don't apply any other method, you know that you can use picture and deliver very large effects of teaching. Just picture. You don't want to spend. But when some of you went to teaching practice, the school you went for teaching practice didn't give you materials. I was doing teaching practice at Zenith High School. You spend time. Some will go and do a very big frame. Some will go and carve, depending on what they are doing. They pay artists to carve, do a lot of things. They pay artists to draw. Some will even bring a ready-made items, spend their money, buy rice, buy beans, buy a lot of things, just to impart knowledge to. But when you come here, you want to teach the children rice, you use backer and the second, this is rice. And the children will say, okay, that is how rice is. Yes, that is how rice is. Because if you don't give the children the direct thing, they will not learn. Just imagine you are a little child, love climbing a tree. And instead of you to say, don't climb tree because it's not good for a female child to be climbing tree. And perhaps put more explanation. They then say, my child don't climb tree, they don't climb tree. They say, mommy, why? Because they will look at your pants. The little girl say, so when I climb tree, they will look at my pants. The mother say, yes. I say, I will not climb again, mommy. He said, that is good, that is my girl. The next day, the mother went to work. You know, the mother came back from work, and the daughter said, yeah, mommy, I have climbed the tree again. He said, mommy, why? Why do you, mommy, don't worry. Before I climb the tree, because we use ladder, I asked other boys to hold this thing, but none of them knew. I have removed my pants and hide somewhere. So none of them see my pants. Because you were giving me information. And the child climbed without wearing pants. Because you told the child that once you climb the tree, that they will look at your pants. You didn't give the real information. Okay? So, all you could say, educational mediocrity, all you could say is unhealthy teaching approaches or methods. What do I really refer to these unhealthy approaches? We are going to see. Next slide. Okay, let us see. Without defining what that means, with the term unhealthy, we as educators should know it that the methods we use is sick and need to be worked on it. But who should work on it? Every employed educator. So it is you, it is we, it is core management, it is general management, it is everybody. Whether you are in management or not, is our collective responsibility to treat the unhealthy body of our educational system. Let me list them. Next slide. Sitting down on a chair while teaching the learners is unhealthy approach. You go down, the teacher is already seated. When you go there, he said, "No, I have finished teaching. I was just dictating. I was just explaining." I said, "What?" The moment you stand before the learners, except you are not talking with them or to them, that's when you go and sit down on your own. But while you are still addressing them, you should be standing. You don't need to sit. It's an unhealthy approach. Okay, next slide. Shouting at learners while they are learning. You that blockhead. No, giving them names. What is a car? And the child will stand. Car is, my father has a bicycle, he used to drive. He said, "Shut up!" What nonsense is that one? It's wrong. It's unhealthy. We are going to make that child to relax. Okay? Not going through the learner's books while teaching. You don't supposed to finish teaching. And you have another special day to go and start looking at the children's book. Because even you will forget what you put on the board. The next day, you will forget when the child is writing, you will try to think, what was really this? You start going back to your note, looking that page. As you are teaching before you leave, you should go, one-on-one to see that those children are getting what you are putting on the board. I thank God we are going to be told the allocation of times when you are teaching. There should be time when the children are copying notes. There should be time while you are going around checking their book, look at the spelling, correct there. Don't give a special time. We don't have any special time again. You correct it there. Let the child know. You see this thing. This is how they show. This one is now you and the child. You and the learner. And the learner will have very big faith on you. Anytime he sees he's doing error, he will call you. Yes. Because those days in our secondary school, when they used to send some of these teachers, those secondary schools sometimes, someone will be very young and is coming to teach us. And we guys those days will be playing fun of. And we discover that the teacher is friendly. Sometimes we will not do mistake. We say, "Madam, please come." He will go, "Okay, I can." "What is it?" I said, "Okay, no, I just wanted you to come around and stand here." He said, "Stop this thing and go back." Because of the relationship, it's making us, feel it should be around all the time. During the party, instead of the teacher to behave like a teacher, the end of the academic year, instead of the teacher to behave like a teacher, because of the relationship, it will be, we will be wearing our mufti. You will not even know who is a teacher again, who is a learner. We'll be walking around, taking pictures and so on. I'm not talking about this secondary school that is a child of 7 years is now in SS1. I'm not talking about it because the system is going backward. They don't allow the children to finish. So by the time they go to secondary school, they will be last born. But now, if you go to secondary school, you will not even see a grown-up people. Because people, they will start removing their children from the class. We were big. We were big guys. And when we talk about big, we were big guys. In fact, it was better. It's a prefect coming around to give you a dirty slap. wasn't a child. It was a big boy who slapped you, and you know that this is your prefect. But if these are children now, by the time, like my marvelous, a little time she will be in secondary school, and you think we'll go and slap somebody. She will not dare. Okay? So, let's go to the next. Eating in front of them and chatting on your cell phone while in front of them teaching. You are in the class. Your big phone is with you. You open it and put it on the screen. There's a child running. And you are teaching them. Once they reply, you go. Okay, you go back again. Ask them, where do we stop? And they will tell you. You continue teaching. Another child will drop. You go. It's wrong. Or you bought food and you are teaching, and perhaps there's a food there. Huh? You are teaching, you are eating. Even if you are not teaching at that time, you're supposed not to eat in front of them. You don't. You don't. The children are eating, you are eating. You get your own. We have a space. Eat your food. Take them and eat food. Don't show them how to eat. Don't show them how to eat. Have a special moment. Eat your own. Allow them when it's their own time or eat. I thank God this time that we'll be running on subjects. You will have some time that you can be doing things for yourself. Okay? Using the learners to clean board or your desk for you. Hey you, Evelyn, come. Clean this board. Not in this school. Not in this school. You're not supposed to ask a child to come and clean the board. No. Everything about the board, the marker, is you. Even if you use the chalk on, it is your duty to do what? To clean it. It's your duty to clean. Don't create such, because it's unhealthy approach when you are dealing with the children. Next slide. Awarding marks to undeserved learners. Because you used to ask the person, come and do this, or you know the mother. The mother, when the mother or the parent arrive, will sort you with 200 naira for the charge card. And you see the child name. So, I think let me just give. You saw that the child has 31 or 39. You say, let me just give the child 2 marks. So that it not look as if the child is having poor result. Meanwhile, the child is already having a poor result. What you added to that mark is not ideal. So it's an unhealthy approach. And that is why in this system, we do what we call conference marking. And the way we are doing now is we will not give you opportunity again to be giving them tests. There will be no special time for tests again. As you are teaching, you are giving tests. At the end of the class, you must give tests. At least, minimum 1 test every time you are teaching. So no special time. As you are giving the test, you are marking. You mark, let them write that test in their exercise book. Mark. At the end of the day or at the end of the week, you collect it and score. Collect all and give the average. No special day again. So that you will not be, adulterating the maths. Okay? An educator without learning aid. You'll be writing on your lesson notes. Teaching aid. Cardboard. Teaching aid. This. But while you are teaching, you are not using it. And some of you, imagine, because there is a column for teaching aid. You see somebody teaching aid, textbooks. Okay, when you are teaching, you now carry the textbook. You say, children, this is what I mean. You carry the book without you zooming out and enlarging the content you see it interesting as you are teaching it. Instead of you to bring it out and make it more better. or go and carry your TV in the house, bring it, plug issue because you want to exhibit your teaching. Exhibit it, let them see. But at the end, you will stand there, teach from morning till night without giving up teaching aid. Using one approach or teaching method every time. I try to say that what you are on is that good morning, children, good morning. My topic today is this. You start talking, blah, 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 at the end. No other method. Use your phone, go around, see other methods of teaching. Okay, let's transferring of anger to the learners. Perhaps you have entered the office of the head of school and you have been talked to on the areas you know you are not doing well. As you are going back to the class, you transfer it. You transfer it to who? The children. As you are entering, go sit down. What? Come, go guys. No. But nobody, the children don't even know where you are getting it from. You transfer it to the children. Is unhealthy approach. Okay? Unhealthy diary and lesson note. Some of us, when we are writing lesson note, you don't even, let me just start with the diary. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. You pick the old diary, you write. To prepare diary is not a difficult thing. It's, if you want to create, if you want to be more effective, the first of all, ask what type of textbook are we using? Take the textbook, divide the content of the textbook into 3. And once you divide it into 3, you pick one for the first step and look at which topic is longer. Give them week. There are some topics that you know it will be longer. Give them 2 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, and put them. Before you know, you are out. Then we will have already our calendar that will say, this is the time for meeting break, this is the time for exams, this is the time for revision. You are not the one to put all those ones. But they will make it available for you that this is the time for the revision, this is the time for exams, this is the time for this. But you should know what you are doing. If we are using so book, then get the book, check the content, there's the table of content, develop the diary there. And most of us, when we develop that diary, or we have seen the old diary and transcopy, because that is what is happening. You transcopy. The more you are transcopying, the more you are missing a word. You transcopy. And when you are writing your lesson note, it's no more corresponding in the diary. You just open textbook and start putting the subtopic when the topic is not even mentioned in the diary. Because that's what I saw most of us doing. Because we are going to monitor seriously this time. What is in the diary is supposed to be exactly what you are teaching. You are not teaching out of it. Okay? Lacking computer skill. You call yourself a tutor, educator, educationist, a teacher. You don't have single knowledge of the word, the computer. You will not be able to apply it well. Because I know some of us may use phone. They easily enter this thing. By the time they open the same features in the laptop, go into internet. They don't know where to start. No, I used to do internet in my phone. Yes, this is the laptop. There's internet inside. There was a time I have to show the idea to some of us that if we want to get ourselves at least in the appreciation part in the computer, we can create time for that. It's just a token you pay. We can do it. It's after either we do it maybe every Saturday or every late in the day because we want to achieve something. Let you know the computer part of it. So when you are teaching, you don't need to go around searching for anything, asking people questions. Do you know this? You know, sit down, and it will encourage you to have a laptop. It will encourage you to do certain things. Yes. As education, you're supposed to have a laptop. Without computer in this school, this school cannot go anywhere. But most of the time we try to bring something more reality than some schools. Yes. Everything we type it, everything we make it work. So you need to have computer skill. Okay, next. Enjoying the state of mediocrity. Some of you, when they tell you this method you are doing is not good, mommy, I cannot do that one. Man, let me use that one that I use. It is that one that I know. Let's use it because you want to enjoy that method. Only that level you find yourself. You don't want to move out. It's unhealthy approach. You must always try to move out. If the former state seem not working, just like the new curriculum that have been introduced, which you are going to hear in this seminar, if we remain, people will be going 1,000 miles. We are here. By the time people from other schools will be talking about it, you will be thinking that something is wrong somewhere. But by the time the thing move, you move. You don't allow. But as I'm talking to you, this school, some schools are now coming to extract the system we are operating based on the new curriculum. But it has never been easy because it's always a toughly something. Agree or not agree. Okay. Fail to deliver your task as an educator. There's a timetable that you're supposed to teach. The time you're supposed to teach, you will not go and teach. And when they ask you, I went to my office, I went to a main office, I went to the, you failed to perform your task. It's not going to be so again. There will be a serious monitoring. You must. Your duties as an educator. In the next slides, I will be outlining your duties. If followed properly, we will not be affected by educational mediocrity. Remember what we mean by educational mediocrity. Those methods that is unhealthy, those methods that is not good, cannot produce, it's breaking low. So what we say that is that if we follow this duty effectively, we are going to have a good standard of education. Let's go to the next class. Getting your lesson note ready. Getting your lesson note ready. Not only getting the note ready. Not only getting the note ready. What happened? Rehearse on it. You don't just write because during the time you are writing, you are not reading. You are just copying. You are copying from the textbook, and you are there at the end. You close it, and when you are coming to teach, you discover that two lines of statement have deleted because you mistakenly from the textbook you read and saw is off is you become stupid before the learner because you now say is off. You now hold on. You went to textbook to go and confirm what you discover that two lines have been omitted. But if you have gotten time to rehearse, you will notice that. Just like this slice, I did it. But every time I go back again, I was here alone trying to do as if I am doing presentation. I'll be reading from the script which is large. And from there I discover that there are omissions. I keep on changing until I feel okay at my level of academic. I stop at point 2C. At my level, let it be here. And allow it flow. Okay? So, rehearse on what rehearse on what you wrote on the lesson note and making sure is exactly what you have in your diary. Don't forget, it's your duty. Okay, next slide. To be in school at the stipulated time given to you and getting your class set as well as carrying out mental exercise with your learners before the time given for general devotion. Some of us, you are playing with me, but I'm laughing, I'm keeping quiet. Yes, I'm keeping quiet. Because by the time you will see the other of my pants, I know where I have power. When I hold my power, you will regret. They ask us to come to so time and we become big boss, and that is what we used to do. All those people who didn't come in time from the first day, You will see deduction, you will fear. It will not be part of the policy. It will be a punishment. Because there is a time, you come as you wish, you do, and this announcement has been made before you leave this school, that on Monday school will resume, and it has been posted, reposted when to resume, and you are now big. I was very shocked that a custodian came a day after, feeling so comfortable. If you go to most schools, advanced schools, you don't dare that rubbish. I have a younger sister here. She's teaching at British International Schools. Like I used to say, he's a teacher, but none of you come here and meet her at home. 7 o'clock, she was already out. It's because of somebody's work. It's because that is where he's earning from. For some of us, we claim we have arrived. After today, you become a people. I'm going to show you the level of what you have violated as you are guilty to perform, the time factor. And because we say time will be crossed, the line will be crossed by 7:30. We stay at home and come by 7:30, forgetting that in nursery school, you're supposed to be in the school very early, whereby you will have mental class with your children. That thing you used to do in devotion, you will not accept again. You will not do it again in the devotion. A teacher is supposed to go and be doing the mental class in them. Do in your class. At least 5 minutes before the devotion. But instead of you to come early, you come by 7:35, 7:40, devotion have already started. You now come very gently and you enter. You enter the devotion and you are on. It's not going to be so again. Next slide. To go through the learners' books and making sure they are not left out from previous lessons. Because at that time, it's your work. Like I mentioned last, always go through their lesson note. So that if there was a time you asked them to copy notes, some learners who pretend to have copy note. Yes. When you see, they will do like this, just like some of you used to do in exams. Some of you, many of you, all of you, when the teacher is coming, you pretend as an actor. You are doing something. Meanwhile, you don't know how that answer. Yes. Many people have developed that skill. So children also develop the skill. But then you go around, they will do as if it's copying the note. After the class, that's end. It is the parent who will discover that this child will not be copying note. And you will come and tell the parent very silly response. I don't know that this child will not be copying note. What? It's error. You must, during your class, as you are going in the next day, you should be able to follow up and see if there is any leftover notes they didn't copy. Okay, next. To go through the class register and take attendance of the learners who are in school and who are not. And you must learn how to work with the register. Whether you are being given a class teacher or not, try and also learn how to do what? Work on the register, because you may be appointed to be a classroom teacher. If you do not understand the terminology of that register, ask questions, get close, and you do it. And you will do it. Okay? Most especially, to educate or teach the learners in your care, which is the primary end. We are here. Is it not to teach them? Is it not to teach them? It's to teach them. And make sure they understood every bit of thing. You don't jump anybody. Make sure they understood it. Have you clear with what I'm saying? Yes, sir. 5 persons there. It's not clear. But because of the 20 persons have said, yes, sir, and you are happy. No. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand? Yes. Do you understand? The person will say, yes. Okay. After that, tell me how you understand. You see, the story will change. That's when you know that you are not learning. You go back. You go back. And that is why we are allotted enough time, no more 35. So you'll be able to deliver well. Like I said, you don't need to leave any of them behind. You must make sure they have it. You have to identify the weak points of the learners and correct the mistakes and show them the right path or the correct thing. This will do away of their deficiency. Don't forget the deficiency that we are referring to the learners. And prepare them ahead of the task as they move from one class to another. Whatever you are giving to those children, it is what they will take it to the next class. The next class will suffer. I remember when we employ the staff, we used to have problem with Sarah. We will complain that it was the Sarah that taught the person from that class. And the Sarah will say, why is it that it's only you? It's only you that complain about this board. Others will be teaching and will not complain. You will be complaining. It's because the teacher lack method of impacting on that child. And that's why you start complaining. But also, if you fail to give the right thing to the children, the next class teacher will be suffering. And that is why, if we cannot keep you here, permanent nursery 1 teacher, permanent nursery 2 teacher. What you sow, you are going to reap from other classes as we make transfer. So it's better you give them the right thing so that you will not go and meet the child again. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, sir.
The possible deficiency in learners, students, lack of attention and concentration in class. You know, children are like that. Lack of giving out what he or she learned. Difficulty in writing or reading, or in both. Inability to express his or herself. Inferiority complex. Next. Are you next? Now, the first one is lack of attention and concentration in class. Take note. A learner will suffer from this deficiency if a teacher put less concern about the attitude of the learner in the class. The child will just jump. You don't mind. Will jump. Will be laughing. You will tell him, say, what are you laughing? Madam, nothing. You go back. What are you laughing? Nothing. You go back. Meanwhile, those children are disturbing. They are not paying attention to you. They are being distracted. You can't notice it because you lack quality. You are low standard. Children generally, even at home, are always distracted. If you open this door now, you will see 3 children will down. It's either Chidima child will run in, or who again? Favor you will run because that is how children act. But you should not allow them to make use of all the period when you are teaching. It's also expected that they will bring same attitude back to where? The class. Losing concentration in the class. And mostly this occurs when they have playmates sitting in the same row with them. You as an educator must always put all measures to control them, to learn effectively. You know children can be very funny. Sitting, if the child is just sitting there, we are teaching. You slap another person and prepare. You always observe the one that is complaining. Why are you behaving? You say, my friend, shut up. You didn't even know that something happened. So, lack of giving out what he or she learned, which is, you ask a child a question after you teach. You ask, the child will not answer. You ask, it's not going to answer. Children mostly joke over what you are teaching them. You ask a question, you say, I will not talk. You just tell you, I will not say, I will not talk. He said, doctor, I will not. You say, you don't know. I know, I will not say it. You'll be tired in that class. Because the teacher is the learner is the one controlling you now. What is this? I will not talk. Now, see what happened. Sometimes purposefully refuse to attempt a question asked in the class, and you may be upset if you do not have a control of heart as an educator. And most times they have problem of, recalling what you taught them because of the method used of which was not favorable to them. It is your duty to correct that and establish another approach to help learners, to help them. It is your duty to correct that and establish another approach to help the affected learners to pick up with others. The best teacher is known by the learner. You cannot be best until the learners are being seen the best. So, create all possible means to impact their weak point. Next slide. Difficulty in writing or reading or in both. Most of the deficiencies of a learner in this category is lack of reading and writing. That is what the parents do not want to know whether the child can define social studies, whether the child can explain what is education. What the parents are looking for is, my child cannot write, my child cannot read. But if the child is able to read dictionary from A to Z, the parent will be jumping. But that child may not be able to construct a good sentence if they ask the child a question. But he has a grace of reading. So that's what parents want. Yes, that's what the parents want. They want to see their children reading. They want to see their children writing. So it is your responsibility. You understand? So, okay, a child who cannot write from nursery 2, and in the case of Gladden'S schools, who have difficulty in kindergarten when promoted to. Because in the kindergarten, no more playing. You are copying notes. You are doing things by yourself. This really affected the learners because the teacher was less in commitment. If you are not committed, the learner will not learn. To say that the learner put in reading and writing. I want to tell you I was a victim also. I got to JS3. I was unable to read and write. Yes. It was a difficult thing for me. But the question is, was it the fault of my parents or the teachers? We should know. But if a seminar had been conducted to those days as a teacher, they would identify my weak point and work on me. But they only left me behind and concentrated with the brilliant children as at that time. But even now, some of them are still looking for a job. Therefore, as an educator, you must deploy all manners of approach to make them read and write. Next slide. Inability to express each ourselves, what we call inferiority and complex. You know that most of us suffer from this trauma. You call somebody to come and start. We were in the class. A teacher was talking, and she mentioned, it was a lady, she mentioned this. We guys will say, madam, you know, be now. We will talk. Even if he said forget, if you stand before a young lady and she asks you a question, you will fumble. You say, no, it will not, it will not. Once, okay. You come. And when the boy went out, and the lady started chatting, he said, do you like me? Story change. Everybody discovered that it is true. It is true. Yes. So, there are people that they will not be able to stand in front and make what? Sentences. But let me go to this. And children also affected by this inferiority complex. When you ask them questions, being in class, they will keep quiet. They are ashamed. They feel that once I'm open mouth, it will be wrong. They feel that once I say it, others will be laughing. Whereas they have experienced that before, and they will keep quiet. But if you ask the same question privately with that child, he will give you every information you need. You now know that that child has problem. He cannot stand before his or legs. So it is now your duty to bring the child out with one person. Tell this one your name. With one person, do from examination, and the child will perform. After that, bring two persons. Tell these two persons your name. The next one, bring four. Tell them your name. Bring all of them. Tell them. You now bring the child to the class. Tell this class your name. That child will do it. From that, you will pick up. So you must apply different methods in order to take that shy from the child. Okay. Next slide. This sleeping. Conclusion. In conclusion, as educators, we have to always update our skill and develop our capacity to come out from a state of mediocrity. Don't only wait until we organize seminar. There's a seminar I and the head of school attended. We paid 10,000 naira. And this is a seminar that over 270 people attended. We spent. Up till now, they asked us, they will give us, I think the certificate back is at, we paid for it actually. I've not yet collected mine, but I know it arrived unique. So you must always pull yourself to see how you will learn. Educate yourself, read books, go into internet, search for experience, see what others are doing. Forget about Nigerian method. Search about London, search about Canada, search about even Uganda. Search, they are teaching their pattern of this thing. And empower yourself. You'll be able to fit in. Mm-hmm. If we have taken this bold step to be trained for the purpose of raising standard for our learners to benefit, mediocrity, which is below average, will not be found in our educational system. Do you believe that?
Yes, sir.
Rather, we will deploy a better and achievable teaching methods. Educational value and standard will be experiencing in Gladden'S international schools after the end of this seminar, and we will always devise means to correct deficiency in our learners. I hope that is our vision. It's nice being with you. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that. You can do better than that. That means the phone we have, we don't have any excuse. It's not to Facebook and WhatsApp. Do so many things. You can sit here in Nigeria, here in 8 miles, and be chatting with a colleague of yours that is a teacher in Ghana. You know how far it is being gone. So don't tell us that you cannot manage your class. This child is giving me so much headache. Please, you can take paracetamol for that child, and that child's headache will do what? Will take care. Okay, that was a nice presentation. Our director really took time to dissect and give us everything we need as educators. And as we are moving to our learners, we don't have any complaint whatsoever. Please, if you are a teacher or an educator, you are very used to being hostile, irrespective of what took place in your home before you came to school. We've been taught that we don't need to transfer aggression. Transferring of aggression has really cost a lot. Maybe actually you didn't mean it that way, but you are already seeing yourself doing it. We are all human beings, we are not spirits. That is why these things are being said openly, so that we know how we move around. I have been told that there is no child that is dull. There is no single child that is a dunce. It depends how we see them. So if I see a child that everybody have written off, you don't know anything, you are a dunce, you are this, I can see the best from that child. I can start seeing the very best from that child. Maybe on a daily basis, each time I meet that child, I will try to encourage the child, even when the child is not doing well. I keep encouraging the child. I keep encouraging the child. And then before you know it, that child, I watched a video about a child that is an autistic child, a child that is always isolated in the school, in class. It's a very serious deficiency when it comes to learning, being autistic. This child will always be reserved, and every teacher that had taught that child, all of them look at the child as a very slow learner. This one cannot write. I have tried everything. That's what some of us tell parents. This one, I have tried everything practically. It cannot work. Maybe you need to try something at home. Why are you now a teacher? This child will always, in the school bus, everywhere, until one teacher came to that school. That teacher came to that school and turned around that child. You can be that teacher that is here in Gladden'S International to turn around a particular learner. Believe that you can do it. Let it not be that we are just hearing it for hearing's sake. Let's practicalize it. Let it not stop here. Maybe somebody might not be running after you. Somebody might not be checking you. You are left with between you and your conscience. You are left between you and your conscience. And that is what will judge you if you did the right thing to merit the little stipend you are getting. Because if you don't do the right thing to merit it, it has a way of going out. It is not witches and wizards. It is not prayers. It is because whatsoever a man sows, that is what a man reaps. It is not whether you are a Christian, a pagan, Muslim, whether you are a rich person or whatsoever. That is why you see all these rich men and women becoming richer by the day, because they believe in what? That they are sowing out their wealth. And we are sitting down believing that the heavens will open and manna will fall back. It was a nice moment. And without wasting much of our time, if you have question, please you write your question down. We will have a time for question and answers session so that we run with time. We want to go into another wonderful presentation, and I bet you this presentation, no dull moment like the first one. You are going to enjoy it. This lady, in my own words, she is an action lady. With her, there is no dull moment. If you like it or yes, there is no dull moment. She will give it to you the way it is. If you like, go and hit your face. Go to 911. Hit your face there. And what she will tell you, if you search your conscience, that is the truth. You know, at times we say truth is bitter. I am a living witness. She can talk to me, and then going back, I will appreciate what she said because she was telling me nothing but the naked truth. I'm not saying because she is here. It's what I have learned per time. I discovered that if she tells you, take it easy, it's okay, it's coming from her heart. If she tells you, I don't like what you did, if you like, go and jam 14. There's no two ways about it. That is how it is. We are going to invite her to come and talk to us about the staff policy and welfare. Because as you are busy teaching the children, the school have you in mind that your welfare should be well packaged. And while you are doing your job, like she told us yesterday, he said you came here to work, you did not come here to make friends. But if peradventure you are making friends, then it's not a bad idea, but be sure you are not found wanting in places you shouldn't be, or saying the things that does not concern you. That is the policy, so that you will not say, why is my 2 naira leaving my account, my alert? When the alert drop, I did not see my 1 kobo. You forgotten that maybe you misbehave with the policy. So without wasting much of our time, please, with a very loud clap, let's make welcome the admission. Is that how you can clap? The admission
policy and welfare. For our staff who has been here before this time, for 2 years or thereabouts, you must have known most of these things. But it's like most of us are derailing from it. Most of us are forgotten about it. Most of us are not working on it. Most of us are just thinking maybe it's a long forgotten issue. It's a policy and it has been scrapped out. Waiting for the new one, maybe until the day you just get faulted and the director will just decide to put something and based on the way. That's I've forgotten about this thing, whereas that thing has been there. So today we are going to remind ourselves about all the policies and the welfare of Gladden'S International Schools. So I'll start by telling you who a staff is. You might be asking yourself, they're talking about staff. Who is this staff? I'm calling myself a staff. You are calling yourself a staff. So today, all the people employed by a particular organization is what we know as staff. As we are gathering here, all of us are staff working in Gladden'S International Schools. So what is the policy? A course of principles of action adopted or proposed by an organization or an individual. There is no organization without a policy. There is no way we could be working. In fact, there is no way all of us will be gathering here without a policy. If it was like a school that you just say, just do as you wish, I tell you, most of us will not be here. Especially when there was a heavy downpour this morning, most of us will just cover clothes and lie down and sleep. But this one, everybody is scared. I have to go because I know what director is capable of doing. There is a policy that is binding us that I have to be in that seminar. So that alone is what awakening each and every one of us and bring us down here. So that is what policy does. It helps to checkmate the activities and the movement of everyone in an organization. So the next thing is welfare. What is the welfare? It is the health, happiness, and fortune of a person or a group in any organization. There is no any organization that is binding without the welfare of the staff. You will not be comfortable. You can never be comfortable. There might be some policies that is binding you, could be so rigid. At the same time, there's also a welfare that is making you relax. The whole thing works hand in hand so that you'll be able to feel comfortable in wherever you find yourself. Any organization you find yourself without a welfare or without a policy, my dear, I tell you, just run away from it because definitely you cannot be comfortable in such a place. Alright. Gladden'S International School Staff Policy is what we are going to emphasize today and what we are going to talk about today, not where you were or where you come from or the one in your family. We all have a policy in our home. This is how daddy and mommy want us today. Nobody stays out late. But this one we are not going to look at. What we are going to talk about today is the one that involves Gladden'S International School and the one that is covering each and every one of us as a staff. All staff must be present in school premises at least 7:45 a.m. Sorry, that's supposed to be 7:35 a.m. For every teaching staff are meant to be in school on or before 7:30 or 7:35 a.m. The time will be drawn. Gone are days when we used to go and do signing. You will just go there, somebody is not looking at you, just sign. Just say, what was the last person? Okay, 7:31. You now put your own. Some other person even go up to 7:30. When they ask what happened, he said, I came, I was in the class, I was trying to tidy up my class. This one is not going to be like that because it's going to be electronically and it's going to be thumbprint. Once you thumbprint it, that key, your number is automatically recorded. That is when you come. So if you like, when you come, go to the class first, just with your friend. When you come back, it will be recorded. At the end of the day, try doesn't need to carry book again and go and start counting. Once your name appears, you are paid the number of times you have come and how many times you have appeared late, and that will be recorded. There is no way to rest about it. So then all custodians are meant to be in school on or before 7:15. It's expected as a custodian, you're meant to be in school before that. A lot of parents, there are a lot of things parents check when enrolling his or her child in school. You go to a class, particular school to drop a child, and there is nobody there to receive the child. If you were a parent and that child could be just a year plus or 1 year plus or one could be 2 years, would you allow your child? No. Because at that time I I remember just 2 weeks ago when we were doing lesson, I came to school and I met a parent outside with a child. I said, what is my baby doing outside? I said, because the kind of play I'm seeing the children playing inside the classroom, I don't like it. I cannot leave my child. Like, I had to apologize because it's like the teachers were not there early enough. And the ones the parents dropped, they were just playing among themselves and they were hitting each other. So the woman quietly carried her children and went at the gate. So I had to receive those children from her and appeal on the behalf of the children and take them in. So that's exactly what happened when you don't come to school early to receive your children from the parents. So on no account shall a staff leave the school premises without informing the head of school through his or her unit head. It is our ethics here that once you want to step out, whether you want to buy a biscuit, whether you want to buy food, thank God at least, hopefully we are going to have a canteen running here in the school environment so that you not have to be running yes, and Koyo is has really missed it because she was our food vendor that time. She used to go and buy food. So we are going to have a canteen running here in the school. So that you not have to be going out to buy things. And even if you don't want to eat from where it's cooked here, please, you want to take snacks, get your snacks before you get into the school compound. On no account should you go out when you're supposed to handle your children in the class, you want to go and buy biscuits, or you send a child. Most of our teachers are fond of sending children to go and buy snacks for you. It is wrong. Sometimes I have to sit there and send them back. You might not know whose parent is passing by and see a child who goes out. What happened? What are you doing? I said, my teacher sent me to buy something. What does it tell? So please get whatever you have to get and don't leave the school. If there is any emergency that might arise, please try to meet your head. Primary has a head, nursery has a head, lower and upper primary has a head. Meet your head, take permission from your head, then step out. The head will now go and meet the head of school. So in case of anything, she now say, okay, I take permission from my head, or you go and meet the head of school. When the head of school is not there, I'm always available. But don't leave the school compound without permission. Use of mobile phone in the class is strictly prohibited. All the director has already emphasized on this. You're not supposed to be seen using your phones. At some point, he was trying to introduce the Wi-Fi here some time ago, and he kept time. That means we have time when we are supposed to press something, which is supposed to be during break or after school. Not when you're supposed to be teaching the children. Maybe just put up a note on the board and you went and sit down. All what you do is to press your phone. Whereas you're supposed to go around and check what the children are copying. Most of them might end up copying the wrong thing. They might not understand your handwriting, but while you're going through them, going around them, you'll be able to identify who is copying the right thing and who is not copying the right thing. Don't use your phone, no chatting. Most times he sits in his office and sees you online. Like he said, he's always online. So once you're in the classroom and he sees you online, he knows automatically that that period is not break time. You might be fine. He might not call you. He might either call me or come and say, this person is online. So definitely, that phone will be taken away from you. It will be kept in the office for 1 week. You will not ask us questions. We are not answerable for until we deem it fit to return the phone to you. And you might not like it because you might lose a lot of connections, your friends and whatever. So you might have an important call and you'll not be able to receive it. So for you to prevent that from occurring, try as much as you can to keep your phone away from you when you're in the classroom. All the works assigned to the class teacher must be carried out with honesty and dedication. Like I told you yesterday, we don't do eye service here. If you're ready to work, work as though nobody's looking at you. Work as though, they used to say your reward is in heaven, but you will repeat here. So work as though you have passion for this one and you are really willing to work. Not because someone is pushing you. Let me tell you, anytime, even if it's your house chores, when I'm forced to do something, you do it with God. In fact, you might end up injuring yourself. But the one you do it willingly, I took this thing right from when I was staying with my parents. Anytime because I said you have to do this, you see us either you injure yourself or you're sleeping, you end up hitting your hand every second. I'll be asking myself, why am I hitting my hand or what is this thing happening? Because you're not doing it from your mind. So there might be a lot of errors even in your notes or even in the presence of teaching the children. You might end up using words you're not supposed to because somebody is forcing you to do the work. For a situation whereby you're doing that work from your mind with all amounts of dedication and love, you see the whole thing flow. In fact, you see your children, assimilating all what you have done because love and everything goes with it. The way you're talking to them, you're smiling with them, it makes them assimilate whatever you're teaching them at every point in time. Corporal punishment is strictly banned in the school or using foul languages on the children. The director has already talked about those languages. We don't allow corporal punishment. You've already beaten the child. At the same time, you deprive that child from eating snack. Or at the same time, you say they start to go and stand in a naughty corner. Pick something. We don't allow all those picking, hold your ears, kneel down, and all those. It is not permitted here. If a child is violating the rules in your classroom, or is going contrary to what you ask, or is not copying notes, or doesn't do homework, the only person that is assigned to flog a child is that you take the child to the head of school or you take the child to my office. No teacher is allowed to flog any child or punish a child, because you might not know how you do it. So when they come and ask us, we'll know because you never reported to us. So you must always learn to come and report whatever it is to the head of school. This is what this child has faulted. We'll be able to call the child. If we need the parents present, we invite the parent and we know how to settle the matter. Please do not, on no account should you punish any child or give any child punishment. A total 3 days off for 6 staff. Medical checkup, 7 days off for newly wedded couples, 7 days for funeral arrangement of staff parents, 3 months for maternity leave, and with no salary for the period of months used. We have days we give out. We have seen. You have 3 days off if you're very sick. Please don't stay in the house and tell us you're sick, and say, okay, admin say the 3 days off. That means you must have been admitted in the hospital. And when that is done, the school will come there and pay you a visit. Either we take cash to buy you paracetamol, or if the thing is not that serious. But please, if you're sick, bring yourself here. Let us just see the condition of it. And even if you tell us you're sick, we will always require the doctor's reports. We also have 7 days, okay, 6 staff for medical checkup, 7 days for a newly wedded couple. For those of you who are getting married soon, we'll give you 7 days for honeymoon. It's only 7 days, and anything outside that, you will pay fine for it, because a day off from work is 1,000 naira. So when you're going to Budukatu Ranch, know that, okay, how many days is my traveling, how many days, make sure you come back. 7 days is enough time for you to do your honeymoon and return back to work. That is if that work is important to you. Then 7 days for funeral arrangement of staff parents, only staff parents, because that's the one that involves us directly. Your parent, you lost your parents, or maybe a husband, God forbid, or a child. We allow that for you to be able to mourn them and also use that period to prepare for the burial arrangement. Then we also have 3 months for maternity leaves. This maternity leave, there is no salary attached to it, please. When you're going for your 3 months break, and where is she? Emilia. And you can only be called back if your services is needed. Please. There's a clause to that. Doesn't mean that after that 3 months you just start carrying your bag and walk into Gladden'S school. It's not done that way, because definitely within these 3 months you must have employed someone to occupy your class. And as such, if you require services, call us first. Ma, this is my 3 months. Is my services still needed? We'll tell you come back, or just give us time. Once we need you, we'll now put a call across to you. But at this period of time, there is no salary attached to it. Okay, learners to work attract a fine of 200 naira now, because we have shifted the time. The learners levy might reflect in your pay slip. Sometimes it does, but for the period of about 2-3 months ago, before we closed from work, we were not doing that. What the director does is that he gives you the amounts you're owing and how many times you have paid late. You go to the bank and make your payment. Until that payment is paid, your salary will not be paid. You will not receive a lot. You might receive your pay slip, but you will not receive alert. There's a difference between pay slip and alert. Alert means the money is there. Pay slip is that the money is on the way. So we just block the money halfway onto just waiting for you to just do your payment. Once you do your payment, we'll now allow the alert to come in. So please, for you to avoid that, most I used to tell all the newly employed staff, you might look at it as that time you used to collect 100 now. 100 is small money, but I tell you, people used to brag here. Times 200, let's as you appeared 15 times, just 15 times in a month. 200 times 15, how much is that? It's about 3,000. It's about 3,000. And you can imagine 3,000 out from your salary. You might be discouraged, because that alone can cover your transport for that period of month. So I advise you, no matter, try and always advise to make sure that you come to school late. As much as you can, wake up early and prepare. Look at your distance. How many minutes does it take me from where I stay down to the school? Calculate it so you know when to leave the house and when to. Though most time because of public transport you might delay, so always calculate that so that you will not be a victim. Absent from work without permission shall attract a fine of 1,000 naira as may be reviewed. This shall be paid or deducted from the salary. You do not take permission. Even if you take permission, it was not approved. There's a difference between taking permission and the permission being approved. You might go to take permission from Ma. Ma said, I've not approved. You come and meet admin. Admin, I made Ma. This is the situation I am. And I say, I don't know. Since Ma has said he has not approved, so I does not give permission. So don't even bother to go and meet her. We will still refer you to Ma. So you will come back and now say, admin, and I say, okay, if I have, maybe if I love you, I know you're good though. So that's why it must always be good. I'll go and meet my mom, please let us consider this person and we might approve. But if at the end of the day this thing is not approved, and please don't be fond of coming to take permission at all time because we grant you the first one. Actually, it's not ideal for you to come permission this month, next month you come for another permission, it will not be granted. Because if we go about that, that means we might be destroying the whole structure. So it will not please you and displease the children or the school system. So even if you're taking permission, it should be once in a while. So that if that permission is not granted and you decided on your own, let them do whatever they want to do. Okay, fine. At the end of the month, 1,000 naira will be deducted from your salary from absence from work. All classwork, homework must be properly checked, correct, and presented for approval by head of school before giving it out to children, especially early years class. Especially early years class. No homework, if you're an early years teacher, no homework should be given without the approval of the head of school. Put down the homework, go and show it to her. We have homework days, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Those are the days we give out homework. So you prepare your homeworks on Monday, go and show it to her. She will approve it. The one you're giving on Tuesday, on Wednesday, try and prepare it on Tuesday before you close from work. Give it to her, she will assess it so that on Wednesday, as your children are resuming, you'll be able to put it down in their notes. Then the one of Friday, prepare it on Thursday. Friday, we used to give a lot of homework because it's weekends. So we give both maths, English, and probably general knowledge. So please don't give out any homework. And for all the new staffs, if you're given a class or a subject to teach, for you to be able to blend and know the way we do things, don't give out homework until at least be doing it, whether your upper primary or your lower primary. Any homework you want to give the children, please let her approve before you can give it out to the children. It is the responsibility of every staff to decorate his or her class with teaching aids as an attractive view for the pupils. Normally, most of you up there might say, my class is not paint and how do I decorate it? And someone came and swatted that mentality. At least when he comes here and just proves to us that whether paint or not paint, the class can also be made beautiful. So try as much as you can to do that. Whether your class is paint or your class is not paint, make good use of your hand. Be creative. Learn to put something that anything that could attract the children, anything that will make their class beautiful. Children used to make bows, so they used to make mouths. They'll go to say, look at your class, come and see my class, how it's looking beautiful. Who makes that happen? Is the class teacher. Let your children enjoy your class. Just like you're having a house, every time your house is started, your children will like to go to their neighbor's house because that side is always clean and it's comfortable for the children. Where it's comfortable is where the children will abide. Make your class very comfortable and decorate your class, especially the early years class. Try and those small children, they like all those coloring things that makes them smart and they'll go and touch it and play with it. It makes the school very what's it called? It makes the school so joyous for them. So every time when they wake up, they say, don't go to school. They say, no, I want to go to school. I love my class because they have something to play with. A situation when they come to class, the thing is so boring. It's just as dry as this class. Forget about this one that Maggie do. Just like this. Nothing to turn and look at. Nothing to look at. You know this trend, they learn every time. KG. When those students started learning how to read, anything they see, my son will not sit close to me when I'm typing chats. Because he's reading through everything. As he's sitting, he's reading everything and he's reading very loud so that you know that he knows how to read. They are learning at that point in time. So what really helps them is, even when they are in class, whatever is posted there, they are reading. Whatever is posted, they are reading. So make your class write something, things that could be educative for them to always go through. All staff is expected to carry out invigilation duties, evaluation and examination, answer books, marking of exams, etc. without any extra pay. It's still part of our work. During exam period, we don't go home. For upper and lower primary class teachers and subject teachers, we don't go home when others go. We close here, exam ends by 2 o'clock, sometimes 1:30. We rest for 30 minutes, sometimes we cook our food, or even if we have garri, we put garri, buy groundnut, all of us sit and start marking by 2 o'clock. Most times we leave here by 5:30, sometimes 6 o'clock, depending on how massive the papers were for that day or how how many papers they were writing. So as such, you don't expect and say, okay, I wasn't told that during exam period I will be staying. I take time whenever I'm interviewing when they are coming for it, I took time to explain all those things. During the exam period, we don't go at the expected. So once we know that we started that 2 weeks, know that they're not going to go home early. If you're a married woman, try and make sure that you cook food. As you're leaving the house, prepare things and know that as you're coming back, you'll not be able to cook. So you will not have issue with your husband. And let him or her knows that this is the exam period and you'll be staying back for marking. There is no extra money paid because nobody will mark your script for you. And as such, we don't even allow you to take the script back home. Like what Sir says, you will not go and start favoring one child that is your favorite in the class. You do not mark your script. Others marked it and give it to you as a class teacher to enter. And at the end of the day, we'll use the brush sheet to cross-check that whatever we marked is what you have recorded. So you know there, the process of entry, you went and alter what we have marked. So please, during marking, during exam period, nobody goes home as early as we used to go. All staff are expected to participate in a fellow staff occasion and contribute pending on demand according to the welfare policy. You might be briefed on our welfare scheme, which I'm still going to talk about it, that there is a deduction of welfare 200 naira every month for every staff in case we have a function. But outside that deduction of 200 naira, there is always another contribution. If you are getting married, sometimes you now look at it, this 200 naira cannot buy us something. We decide to tax ourselves 500 naira to add up to make that package looks amazing. So please, in case such demand comes up and they call on you, don't say we have been paying 200 naira. Why are they demanding for another 500 naira? And when transport is also needed, if the place is something that we have to charter a bus, you will also pay for your transport. It could be 1,000 naira or thereabouts. It is expected that all the staff should wash the walls of classroom veranda not to be made dirty with any pencil marks, scratches, etc. made by the pupils. Once you have your class, any year's class that we have painted, they have turned the class upside down because we have not been doing the needful. You're not supposed to allow your children to scribble on the walls with their pencil or crayon. You give a child pencil, and moreover, I was trying to defend a teacher that the director was asking me, say, does this children hold pencil outside when the teacher is giving them to write? And the answer is no. Because immediately after they finish writing, they collect the pencils from them. So which time does the child has to use pencil to write except when that child is writing? And as such, that means when the children are writing, you do not pay attention to them. You just give them the book and the pencil and off you go. Decide to maybe just go to the front and sit down or concentrate on 2 or 1 child and leave those ones. They'll finish scribbling on their work and start scribbling on the wall. And most times we spend a whole lot of money. For those of all the old staff, we expected that normally September when we resume here, we used to paint our school. But this time around, we have not been able to paint it. And then once you have painted, people have updated the whole wall with pencil and all that. Even staff, you finish eating or doing something, you all your hands on the wall. Their hands are always supposed to be off the wall. I learned a lot of things when I was staying in my former compound. That is why I trained my children. That the guy I went and met in that compound, on no account, his children, that is how we discipline them. He does not catch you, put hand on the wall. It's not his house, it's a rented apartment. But that's the discipline because he knows even if he built his house, that is how he will do it. Do you know it is you see, if one dirty like this, he will use this thing and find out who wrote that thing or who made that oil on the wall and trash the person. So everybody is very careful, even when you're working, even the wife is very careful on make sure that your hand doesn't touch the wall. That is how it's supposed to be. So please make sure you're careful. If you came and take your time, wasted time, buy material and put this teaching head on the board, on the wall, so I'm sorry. And then when you came to the school and discovered the children had put the thing off, how would you feel? When you still have need for you to use it, you will not feel the same thing with us. After painting the classroom and we decide to say, okay, go in and make use of it. And before we know 1 week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks about the whole class is turning upside down. Please try and work on your children and tell them the discipline of keeping their hands off the world. Then we are going to talk about the staff policy. The staff welfare policy. The aims is to promote the total welfare of all employees by providing assistance. So you can now see whether your 200 naira is going to go to how the 200 naira is going to help us. To foster love, to motivate and to encourage the employees' continuity. You come and sit here, we decide to talk about policy that is binding you, and we are not talking about anything that will make you have fun, enjoy the place. Okay, I'm having function, I'm inviting the school, what would they give it to me and all this? What is it that is going to make me enjoy this place? Apart from that, this is our welfare purse. Sometimes we use it also to give loan to staff. identified need, and we know that we have the money, and you know you're a good contributor, you have been contributing your welfare money monthly, we can give you loan from there, which can really help you to go a long way or solve whatever problems you have. So that is love, and also to motivate you at every point in time. Contributors slash beneficiaries. All staff as slated under all staff are stated under contributors slash beneficiaries and to pay a monthly contribution welfare dues of 200 as may be determined by the welfare committee. For some time now, ever since I came here, it has been 200 naira and there is no increment for now. So 200 naira is what we are all of us are still going to pay until when the committee deems fit to change it. The due shall be deducted from the salary once every month salary is paid. So note that as you're getting your pay slip, most of us don't have time to study our pay slip. Once you get your pay slip, check how much is your net, what's it called, transport allowance, that's how we break it down, house allowance, blah blah blah, there is a welfare, and there's also a tax which is 0.01. So if you're earning 10,000, know that 10 naira is deducted as a tax. Because most of you come and ask me, man, this my money is like this. Take time to study your payslip once it's given to you, and there is 200 naira deduction every month for welfare. So if you are deducting 200 naira and also 10 naira, that's 210 naira is what is off your salary every month. That one is compulsory and is non-negotiable. Approved programs to attend. We don't just attend every program. We attend the staff wedding, we attend staff parents funerals, we attend staff siblings funerals, we attend staff child funerals, staff funerals, God forbid, and staff same-foot, and also dedication, staff baby dedication. Those are the things we attend. Then staff condition must be at least 2 years old after probation period. You don't just come here today and you decide to choose to benefit from this thing. No, it doesn't work like that. If not, that means our welfare money will just finish. We just come here and we just say, okay, we are inviting you for baby dedication and we come carry our money and give you. Tomorrow you're not coming again, you go. Those that were contributing the money is running at a loss. Maybe they now have function, we now start looking for ways to get money. No, it's not done. You must always be in the school for some period of time and also make contribution before you can benefit from it. That is what that statement means. Then benefits, whether Nigerian or foreign, if you like go and marry Oyibo, we will come. Staff must be at least 3 years old in this establishment before financial support is being given. A contributor of the welfare fund shall be entitled to benefit from the welfare scheme. So if you're not a contributor, you cannot benefit. And there is no way you will not be a contributor because we are not asking you to pay again, we are deducting it our own way. All staff must contribute 500 each or as may be determined by the welfare committee. That 500 is what I told you, should in case occasion demands. There are things that most times we have to, management have to give, PTA have to give, the school have to give, depending on who you are in the school system. So as such, some people will now decide, okay, the tax have to pay 500 naira, we now add buy gift. That one we even used to use and buy gift, then the welfare now puts the physical cash in an envelope and give the person, just to make the person feel more. All staff must contribute 500. Okay. All staff except the celebrant shall pay their transport fee to and fro the wedding venue. Please, the 500 naira is not paid by the celebrant. Also, you're not supposed to pay. Such transport fee shall be from 1,000 and above, depending on the distance of the venue. So a situation where we are going to Oyo or Ikorekene or anywhere, and we have to pay your transport. You cannot go to Ikorekene with 1,000 naira, except the school decided to support that transport. The last time we went there, we paid almost 40,000, and which what we contributed couldn't carry us, so the school have to extract money from the bus and support. So a situation whereby that's why it's always good for you to always be on the good side. Don't enter case books. So when events happen, the school will be very happy to support and make the occasion colorful. If you're a stubborn type, we'll just say, okay, how many people, how many do you have? Say, I'm say, okay, few of you should just go, since this is the kind of person he or she is. And like I said, I don't say don't make friends, or make friends. Be jovial and see how you can assist each other at every point in time. Don't be harsh on each other. Try to see how you can be there for each other, but make sure you keep gossip away from the working environment. The celebrant shall be entitled to receive a cash of 20,000 from the welfare committee, being the wedding welfare package, either in the venue or after the wedding. A situation whereby we see that the scenario is not safe, we will not give you the money there. So you will not end up dropping it somewhere, another person picks it, or you will now go and say, oh, that money that Gladden'S gave me, how much was given? Or maybe you collect it and give to somebody, the person will remove 10,000 and pocket it first and keep 10,000. When you come back home, you say, Gladden'S gave me 10,000, whereas that was not, and there is no way we'll be able to prove it because you will not have time to confirm whatever we have given you. So in that situation, we'd rather take the money back home. When you resume work, we'll now do our presentation. Baby dedication. All staff except the celebrant shall contribute 500 cents to support the welfare package. A cash of 10,000 shall be given to the baby as benefit accruing from the mother's/father's contribution scheme. So the money is not for you, it's for the baby. We only give it because the mother is here. So we also have to give something. Okay, this one is for you to buy soap or buy diaper for your baby. Tenfold. A staff can only be celebrated when he or she has properly resigned with submission of a copy of resignation letter with no less than 3 months' notice and before closing of the term. Normally, we choose to go this way. You might be asking why 3 months and all that. Sometimes events can carry us prompt. If it comes prompt, fine. We are not disputing the fact that nobody is going to say you don't go, but the fact is that your security funds will be forfeited. But a situation whereby you know and you just decide to keep quiet, that means you don't even want the money, just want to use that one, and that is okay. They should use it in developing the school. But once you know that at the end of in 3 months' time, I'm not going to be around, or as okay, like those of them that's with us last time, most of them that at the beginning of this time they might not be here. You apply from the beginning of the semester. As we are close, we know that these are the person coming back and these are the person not coming back. During this holiday period, it gives us enough time to advertise and also seek for other people to replace you. So once this is done, a tenfold will be done on your behalf. This welfare shall only celebrate the staff. No cash shall be accompanied. The welfare committee shall arrange for entertainment of the staff and buy items to the celebrant. We don't give cash. Most of you might be saying, okay, what's the need of celebrating? The reason why we don't give cash is that you will use that money and you will not remember us. But the situation where we buy a gift for you, anytime you turn around, you always remember this is what Gladden'S gave to me. And you will always cherish that thing. If it is money, once you leave here and go, somebody just is a baker, somebody just say, plus please, I'm not this money, you decide to remove that money and dash. Or maybe I say, okay, you don't have transport, you start removing that one and change and give transport. That money might not really have value to you. But once we buy a repeatable gifts for you, you will always use that to remember where you came from. All the staff, okay, at the last of the resignation, if mate's probation period shall receive salary including your security fund. So as you're going after the parcel, that month salary will be paid and your security fund will be returned back to you. Then funerals. The staff can only attend a funeral program not directly after employee. If a staff died, all staff shall contribute additional 2,500 each for the staff casket. God forbid. Amen. The welfare shall also release a sum of 20,000 to the family or the spouse, whether it's your husband or your parents, whoever is taking charge of the burial, but you will not die in Jesus' name. Amen. That's the person the money will be given to and will also be in charge of buying a casket for our staff. A management shall also release a sum of 10,000 to the family if the staff, the same staff, is a management staff. That means if you're a management staff, after that 20,000 naira, there is always also a 10,000 naira from the management to the family as well. Number 4, okay. A staff who is also a PTA member shall receive a sum of 20,000 from the association. Who is a PTA member? You are a staff and you are also a parent. So automatically you are a PTA member because you have a child there. So if such issue happens, the PTA also has to give the family the sum of 20,000 naira from the PTA course. So you can imagine how much is there. It's plenty. I don't want such money. Because you're not the one that shall donate a package of 20,000 naira cash to the affected staff. If the said affected staff is a management member, the staff manager shall donate a cash of 10,000 also to the staff, making it 30,000 naira. Notification. All notice must reach the school at least 2 months in case of wedding, funeral, and baby dedication. Don't just sweep us off our feet. Burial is next week. You come and give us notice today, we will not honor it. Where are we going to start raising the fund? Money does not just come like that. So if you are having a function like that, your parent like notify us, tell us this is it and this is that. Now we'll not be able to pay. When it's close to that, once the date is fixed, you now start writing. But even if the date has not been fixed, you can just inform us verbally. Once the date is now fixed, you now do the writing. You will know, you will come to see what and what is expected. All invitation must approve before staff can attend on behalf of the school. And except you decide not to involve the school, you just decide to say, okay, Malcolm, head of school, come, please, I'm inviting you to this. That one doesn't have, that means it's individual invitation. But in as much as you have written officially to the school, the school authority must approve it. If the director says nobody is going, brother, sister, we will not go. We can go individually on our own. That means this person just say, okay, decide to honor, but it is not school, and school is not responsible. If anything happens, school did not send you because school has already said no. So for us to attend your event and make it colorful, always do to try to do the right thing at the right time. All notification must be addressed to the school director or the head of school or the admission officer depending on their event. For wedding and funeral, the letter was accompanied with the following items: 1 red wine for the director, 2 crates of malt, 1 carton of crackers, biscuits. The malt and the biscuit is for the staff. The only thing that goes with that letter is that red wine. I will not carry the letter and go and give the director without the wine. It is our ethics, and that is how we do it. So anytime you want to write your letter, go and get your red wine ready. Once the red wine is ready, you bring the letter. I can only go there and table the two together. One does not go and leave one behind. Don't bring the letter and tell me how you bring the wine letter. Alright, 2 crates of malt and a carton of crackers, biscuits. Please try and take note of all this, especially the new staff. Staff refreshment and souvenirs. Staff food may be white soup, plantain, afang soup, etc. Staff who is capable can offer us as many as you wish. As they more than 3 types of food. The female staff shall be in charge of food, while the male staff shall be in charge of drinks. A situation whereby the staff are not recognized or entertained, the welfare shall go back with our financial benefits. We come to your occasion, no chair to sit, no canopy, and take notes when you're inviting us, please stack our canopy. Let us not just come there and start roaming like sheep without shepherd. We'll come there, no place to sit. Every canopy is stacked. We'll go and sit there. They'll say, Madam, please, people should stand up. This one is our own. It could be so. In fact, we'll just stand up, enter our vehicle and start going. So avoid embarrassment. So if you really invited us, that means you must create a space and a canopy for us. So when we come, we carry our longer throats and go and sit there and wait for our food. Then we get to eat and drink now. So, but a situation whereby that is not done, and sister, brother, we carry our money and come back and use and cook and eat. Before you finish the occasion and come back, you must have arranged a very palatable food and enjoy. When you come back, I'll tell you, we have already eaten. Thank you for inviting us. So please, for you to get your benefits, always make provision for us so that whatever belongs to you will be given to you. Then for uniform, staff can only wear uniform at school when such is approved by the school authority, and all staff is expected to wear the uniform. You don't just introduce uniform and one person, but we always make it compulsory so that the event will look colorful. So, and we don't wear the uniform that your family is wearing or general uniform. Anytime you're inviting us for an occasion, you get one of the staff asks go with you to go and pick a uniform for ourselves. We pick our own uniform, then we decide to buy it and sew whatever we want to sew, but it has to be something decent and smart. Don't bring your staff uniform, the one you remove for your family or the one you remove for your association, and come and give it to us. We will not wear it. Staff must not wear any other uniform outside the approved one. And you as a staff, someone is inviting us, you now tell us, me, I have my clothes in their house, I will use it. No problem. You also have an event. It might leave you behind because it's not allowed. Sometimes we allow, that's why you say give us time, so that once salary is paid, if you notice, give us notice on time. Staff will also have time to prepare themselves. So if they have to buy uniform, they will be able to use this month's salary and buy, use next month's salary and sew it. But a situation whereby you're giving us 2-3 weeks notice, but where uniform is not, maybe like dedication or what, baby dedication, whatever, is not, there is no problem. But the notice must get to us before time. All right, sir. Okay, the uniform must be so maturely, no style that is capable of discrediting the school shall be allowed. You know that one is for you to wear and go for party. That's the one you decide to sew that style and come for us. We will not allow you to join us and go for the thing, because definitely they will say, I say, which school is this one? Say who are this one? Say it's a school. Say our school. Teachers that are supposed to be role models. Why is this person dressing like this, and why are they dressing like this? And if I take my child, then this is what will happen and this is what will happen. For us not to have a bad name, you always encourage that you sew something decent and something nice. Overall criterias. A staff must pass probation period before enjoying all these benefits I have mentioned. Staff must stay at least 3 academic years before enjoying the benefits from the funerals. Staff must spend at least 2 academic years to benefit from the benefit dedication package. Staff must spend a minimum of 2 academic years to enjoy marriage benefits. His or her name must not be in the school case book up to 3 cases in an academic year. That's why I plead with you to try and keep your record clean. Don't be a case study. We use you, and when you go, we use you and be setting an example. At least even if we are using you to set example, it should be on the good side. Not on the bad side. 3 times you have collected query 3 times. That's what we mean by that. 1 time. You've collected query 3 times, 5 times. What are you doing here? What is your problem? What's coming over? Is it your village people? For you to avert that, so please, and also benefit from this thing. Stay away from all those things and abide by the school policy, and you will enjoy every bit of this place. Thank you very much.
Wow. That was a very nice one. But I will add, who is going to die for us to eat all this food? But the Bible says death is what? Inevitable. So that means I can grow old in Gladden'S and die, and then they will come and enjoy. Any which way, death must occur. So when Ma was reading out, we come do this, people were saying God forbid, and I was busy asking myself, what is God forbidding? Because this date now, man is saying untimely death. That is that one that is very bad. So it's not possible that you can stay here in Gladden'S and get old, grow old here, and then we come for that celebration. Huh? That was a nice one. I told you she is action lady. She will give you the way it is. So that is that. And another thing is that it's like the Bible says will be full of confidence that they can go to sleep and then allow you enjoy yourself while teaching. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to call on our head of school, and she is the one that is going, the head of school, the head of primaries, and the head of nursery. They are going to be in charge of anchoring. They will come. I already told us that it's going to be individually. That is why I went that route, asking us. For me, this is going to be an experience because I have never done it before. So I am very eager that I'm going to experience it. I hope you also feel the same. Don't feel bad because it's the normal thing. So the head of school is going to come up. We're going to invite the head of school to come and tell us the modalities, how it's going to be done. And don't forget, I stress again that it's going to be individual. Whether I came here as a bookshop operator, I'm operating the bookshop, but I am in the school environment, I am going to take part in the teaching practice, because you never can tell. As far as you are around this environment, you can be asked to go and handle a class. That is the policy. So everybody. Then another thing is that do your best. Make that mistake. We have professionals around here that will correct us so that we know the things we have been doing. Oh, we thought we were always doing it correctly, but the professionals will now advise us and correct us. So do all your mistakes. Don't try to come and comport and try to hold brief, try to enter the good book. Do it the way you used to do it for those old ones, and for the new ones the way you know it. Just present yourself so that when we all make mistakes, we all will be corrected. Without wasting much of our time again, please let's make welcome the head of school of Gladden'S International School in the person of Mrs. Gladden. Is that how you can clap for your head of school? You're on your own. You're on your own. You're on your own.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope we have learned something.
Yes.
I hope we learned something.
Yes.
Good. In fact, this is a great opportunity for us as a teacher to able to pick one or two mistakes that we have been doing in the class. And before you call yourself educator, just like the way the director calls us, you should be able to undergo series of training. In fact, if we are happen to be in this school, we are lucky. We are lucky, a lucky human being, just like what the college secretary has told us. It's not every school that organizes seminar for teachers. At least I have taught in many ways. For so many years, I've taught. Not until I went to reach an international school. It was there that I now see myself. I said, hey, so all this while I've been teaching them, call myself teacher, I have not yet arrived. Because it's only a standard school that will train their teachers to a standard they want, depending on what they are doing there. So if you happen to see yourself here, you are a lucky one, because we make sure that we equip you to the standards we want. And just like what the director told us this morning, and I was weeping inside me, because like what he told me yesterday, we are still going to employ. But for those teachers that are not here, I don't know how we are going to do with them. Maybe we will now organize another seminar for them, because this seminar is very useful to us. As long as you call yourself a teacher, you need to pass through this training in order for you to know what to do in the class with the children. Now, we have all learned the way we should the staff policy and other things we need to know. But now we want to practicalize it. Whatsoever we have been doing in the class as a teacher, we want to put it now in practice. We want to do it in a practical way. So just like what he said, do not feel I've not taught before. Like when I assembled everybody this morning, I was addressing us. Some people came back to me and said, "Mommy, I've not taught before." I didn't know me. I don't know my class. But I asked, "Have you taught before?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, come and show us the way you were teaching in your former school before you came to Gladden'S school. Show us your ability, because it is believing that before you are given a chance to handle the pupils or learners, let me call it the learners here, you should be able to impart knowledge, not just standing or calling yourself a teacher. You should be able to transfer what it will be beneficiary to the learners. So without wasting much of our time, this is how it's going to go. We are going to start from early years classes. Please, with due respect, sir. When the director told us this morning that we don't know your class yet, and I also think so, that maybe you don't know your class yet. But for the early years classes, I think even if the director should change the classes, we will not do anything with early years. So when you are coming out here to practice, please, that method, the method you are to use should be the level of your learners. Don't look at us as an adult. We are all learners. In fact, we don't know anything. We are here to impart knowledge on us. So the method you should use. I remember when the director talked about method of teaching. Please, there is no dull child that maybe you apply all the method of teaching and that child still remains the same. Each learners has their own method you should use as a teacher. Each learners, they have their own method. Maybe a particular child good with jumping method or maybe playway method. You use, you apply. So there are so many methods you apply on your learners and it worked out for you. So please, you use your method effectively to your learners and now see how it's going to work for us. So we are going to call on early years classes and we are going to start from reception class. So we call on Miss Emilia. Please put your hands together for her. She's coming out. Miss Emilia, please come out.
Good morning, Tokios.
Good morning, madam.
All right. Class 10. All right. Hands up. Hands down. Hands up. Clap 1. All right. Sit down. Stand. All right. I can see everyone smiling. All right. I standing here. My name is Mrs. Emilia. I said my name is what?
Mrs. Emilia.
I'm your class teacher. I'm your what?
Class teacher.
In case your mommy or your daddy ask you, who is your class teacher? You say, your class teacher is who?
Mrs. Emilia.
All right. Sit down. All right, before we start anything, start our lesson, I would like to know every one of us here by names. Starting from here. Please tell me your name. What is your name?
My name is Asiyetumogon.
Please don't cry.
I want to go back to the house. I want to go back to the house.
So you don't like me? Oh, that's it. Please stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Why you? Oh, my friend, my darling friend. Oh, Basil, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Stand, stand. Your name is Basil. Do you know that I will give you a star? Do you like star?
Yes.
Okay, I will give you a star. If you don't cry, you don't look for mommy, I will give you a star. Do you like a star? All right, sit down. I'll get a star for you. The next person, please. What is your name? Your name? I told him my name is Mrs. Emilia. Tell me your name. Did you eat today? What did mommy prepare for you? Don't nod with your head. Talk. What did mommy prepare for you? Yeah, I ate indomie, noodles. Do you know? Okay, will you love to eat biscuits? Don't nod. Tell me, yes, madam. Will you love to eat biscuits? Okay, I'll go and bring biscuit for you. Okay, tell me, what is your name first? Don't be shy. Oh, look at my friend. Oh, my sweet friend. Tell me your name. Tell me your name. Tell me your name, okay? My friend. I hope you would like to be with me. Tell me your friend. Tell me your name. Tell me your name. Tell me your name. Tell me your name. I'll not be your friend. Who would love to be my friend here? Who will be my friend? If you are my friend, I'll give you a star. I'll go and get a star for all of you. For those that will be my friend. Who wants to be Madam's friend? Okay, I'll give them a star. Tell me your name so I'll go and get a star for you. Good. That's my girl. Clap for her. Sit down. All right. I'm not taking that. I won't. You have already known your names. Okay. You know my name. I don't want to take that. All right. Okay. Today, we want to know. Let's know about today. What is today? Today is. Now some of you don't know the date. Today's date is 1st September 2021. 1st September 2021. All right. What is today? I said today is 1st September 2021. Good. A roll clap for yourself. A roll clap for yourself. Class 10. I know. A little I know. I will never forget. Oh Lord, help me. Do you know what I know? I know I'm ABC. A. Your hand. B. I want to see your hand. C. D. E. F. G. H. I. J. K. L. M. N. O. P. Q. R. S. T. U. V. W. X. Y. Oh my God! These are my good children, but do you know what? It is not W. It's W. I said W. X, Y, and Z. A roll clap for yourself. Jumping. It's okay. Sit down. All right. Please put your hands together. All right, that was a nice one. And we want to. Okay. And we want to call on the primary section.
to call on the primary section and we want to call on Miss Sarah Basi. Please put your hands together for her. Clap for her. Clap for her. Keep clapping until she comes. Everyone.
Good morning, Adam.
Class 10. Class stand. When I mean stand, everyone should stand. Yes. Class stand. Sit. Stand. Okay. We want to do introduction. This is a new term. My name is Mrs. Sarah Basi. What did I say?
Mrs. Sarah Basi.
My name is Mrs. Sarah Basi. What did I say?
Mrs. Sarah Basi.
Good. I want to know everybody's name, starting from my left. My name is Angela.
April.
You?
My name is Victory Edet.
Victory Edet. You?
My name is Marvelous.
My friends. You? You?
Anapi.
Yes.
My name is Marvelous Akan.
I'll sit. This is primary 3. What did I say?
Primary 3.
And our topic for today is family. Is what?
Family.
Is what?
Family.
Is what?
Family.
We want to look on the topic nuclear and extended family. What did I say?
Nuclear and extended family.
Nuclear and what?
Extended family.
Nuclear and what?
Extended family.
How many of you have come across that word, family? How many of you have come across that word, family? Yes, Angela.
Mother, my father, my mother, my brothers, my sister, and my family.
Clap for her. Her father, mother, and the siblings are what? Are the families. And now, generally, let us look at what? A family. A family is a group of people living together, either by what? Adoption. To become what? One. That is what we call what? Family. That is what we call what?
Family.
So, her father, her mother, and others, as long as they are living together, it's what we call what?
Family.
And now we want to look at nuclear family. How many of you knows what nuclear family is? This is not a new topic. It is a continuous process. You have been taught right from your nursery till primary. This is primary 3, yes?
A nuclear family is a clear family.
It's a clear family. Ha. Clear family as in
Family that is clear.
family that is clear. Okay, some other person. Yes.
A nuclear family is a new family that just clear.
A nuclear family is a new family that just cleared. That means you just jumped from maybe nursery to primary 3. Okay, any other person? Yes.
A nuclear family is made up of mother, father, and children.
Clap for her. Okay, yes.
The nuclear family is a nuclear weapon.
It's a nuclear weapon. Good. Sit down. We all heard what family is. And now I want to do what? Explain the meaning of what? A nuclear family. A nuclear family is a group, is a small group of family that consists of what? The father, the mother, and what?
The children.
And the children. It is just a group of a family that consists of what? Of a father, of a mother, and what? And children. Now let us look at the extended part of it.
Alright, put your hands together.
Please clap for her. actually wanted one person to come out and present to us the way we should be taking learning in early years classes and the way we should also taking our learning in upper primary. But for tomorrow, we are going to do group teaching or micro teaching from tomorrow so that we can all go home and have our refreshment. But before that, I'm going to take us on the proper or the way we should teach or take learning in early years classes. Like what the first person did was good. She came out, make herself introduce herself for the learners, and also ask the learners name. Was very good because this is first time you have never met them before. You are meeting new faces. The people that are going to primary one are not the same people you were taught before. So as such, they will be new to the learners, and the learners will also be new to you. So it is very, very important for you to do self introduction first. They should get to know you by your name, and you as the good teacher should know your learners by their names. You should be able to know all their names. And the first person did not also observe that while she was teaching, a learners was seated, one learners was seated, and she did not observe. And that is when we will be talking about classroom management, when somebody will be taking us on that. Please, when you are teaching, make sure that your eye is everywhere. As a teacher, your eye should be in every corner. You should be able to observe whether the learners you are taking are looking at you, or they are easily being distracted by another learners, or they are doing what other people are doing in the class. Don't just come out here and talk. That one you are doing your it is just a center method you are using. But when you are involving the learner and also yourself, you discover that your teaching will be effective because you are getting the pupils involving in your teaching. So whatsoever you are teaching, or when you are teaching in your class, make sure that your eyes are everywhere. Look at the pupils you are teaching. Are they responding? When you are asking them to repeat the word after you, are they responding? Is it all of them that are responding to your question or to your response? Do you understand me?
Yes.
And another thing is that, like when she was asking one of the learners her name, and she was trying to portray the attitude that you might meet in the life of our learners. You know, that early years, they are still babies. You know, all of them, because in fact, that class is the toughest class because the children, they don't know you, and they will not easily open up to you because they don't know you. They just met you for the first time. If it happens that you are just meeting a child that is bringing to another school, so go closer to the child, interact with the child, ask the child question, so that the child be acquainted to you, and before you know, the child will be loosening up. But the situation whereby maybe you ask that child a question or her name, and the child refuse to talk, you now start shouting, talk now. Have you not seen other people talking? Tell me your name. Why are you closing your mouth and stand? You have already spoiled the child mindset for that period. In fact, throughout that, if you observe that throughout that day, that child will not be losing up. You will feel sad. So as a teacher, you should be able to be very close to your child you are taking. And in these early years classes, please take note. The best way of teaching them is to have your teaching aids. The director just told us. Make your teaching aids real to make your teaching effective. Now, if you are to take them on food, I still want to go back on what the director said earlier. If you are teaching the child rice or types of food, and it happens that rice is one of the examples of food, please, on no account, don't start using marker and draw rice.
you can never, the children will not know. Either they will give another name to it. You can bring your real object. Bring your real object. If you are teaching a child noodles, please bring one packet of noodles and show to the child. Perhaps if you are, maybe someone might say, I would like, in fact, when I was in Bridgeend, I was taking reception class, and it happened that I have to teach them types of food that way. What I did on my teaching is, I have to bring rice, beans, the plantain, the real plantain, and the noodles. I paste them on the cardboard, paste them there on the cardboard, divide them, and put it on the wall for them to see. And you will be very surprised that even a child of 2 years will see that that is rice, even though he cannot talk or she cannot talk, but you will be able to identify that that food there is called or is rice. But when you draw something and maybe do hand drawing, they will not know. They won't know. These early year students, they learn from the real object. So the best method of teaching you should use with them, either play well method, or you use group method or dramatizing method. Dramatize whatsoever you are teaching them so that they will not forget. If you are teaching them a good Samaritan, you bring out somebody, make it, dramatize it in their age, and they will understand it. Likewise, when Mrs. Sarah Basington was taking us on family, if it happened that you have that topic in early years classes, you dramatize it. Bring out a child. You bring this one, you are a father, and you are a mother. Like what I used to do when I'm taking KG. Maybe if I have a topic that has to do with the family, I dramatize with them, and you know they will never forget it. They will never forget it. So please, in every topic you will be given, there are different methods you are to use, depending on the particular child. My brother here said something that when he was in somewhere or he watched on the video that a teacher changes the life of the child. You can do that. You can do that. And I want to also talk on the primary section. Please, I know that these children, you might feel that they are all grown up, while I should just enter the class and start teaching them. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. You have to make your class impressive. You have to make them look lively. You enter there, introduce yourself. Very important, please. Don't just walk into the class, especially now that we want to have different subject teachers that are taking in primary from primary classes. When once you go there, if you are taking them on social studies, let them know your name, that this is my teacher that is taking me on social studies, the name of my teacher that is taking me on basic science. Let them know you are not only their class teachers. Introduce yourself to them, and don't forget to make them know the subject they are taking them. Do not go and start giving them the meaning of a family or which subject they don't know, or if that subject has heading like what we want to introduce you now, where they should know where the topic comes from. And please, in that upper primary, you can also use different methods with them. There are different methods you should use with them. By tomorrow, we will know all those things. So without wasting much of our time, I want to sincerely thank every one of us for coming out here. At least do one thing or the other. If you have to do that for yourself, you guys are wonderful. I love you guys so much.
Thank you very much. I know it has been a nice experience being here. Some of you may think is nothing is passing through, but I want to let you know, when we paid 10,000 and attended the seminar, all what they were talking, we were just laughing. will crumble, that what they are teaching is a core classroom activity. But the seminar was captioned the directors of schools, which is supposed to focus on management of the system. Because it's not everybody that know actually the area of organizing, saying that they just go and be talking to directors how to prepare lesson notes. When the director will not even apply it. You know, talking to perhaps head of school, depending on the principal and so on. If you are designing a seminar, and the seminar, you must define it well. And it's not also a nice thing when you are standing to do seminar presentation. You don't need to be walking around. It's a bad habit. And that is why in advanced seminars, they will keep a podium. You're not supposed to leave the podium because there are cameras or, plant within the area. Is it not a camera? It's a camera. So situation that you are standing here, you are coming out here. What is happening? There's a rapture. So we must help ourselves to learn from us. And if you don't have a limitation of what you are talking, you will end up talking what the next speaker will talk, what the next one will talk, what the next one will talk. You may even talk what you are going to talk the next day. Because you don't have limitation. That is why I have every knowledge of whatever you people are going to talk. But I try to be careful not to. You will hear me say, somebody will tell you about the allocation of time, that there are a number of these. But I know it. By the time I start mentioning, I have made that person not giving what he or she planned. So the timetable have specifically mentioned practical teaching. At this one, we are not evaluating. Yes, because it's random. We just want to see. Because of there were things we talk. So we needed you to, we want to see how you perform within the age of the class you have. At the end, we will not ask you questions. At the end, we may not evaluate you because we are not going to do a random of being that it is you. Therefore, mean that if you don't know, the rest don't know. If you know, it means everybody know. That's not what we are going to do. Tomorrow, which we are going to have a seminar, there is going to be participants' presentation on lesson notes. The lesson notes you will prepare is what you will be using to teach. That is where we are going to observe everything. That is when we are going to observe everything, every correction, every point. And it's not going to be only us. Because we may skip, we may miss out. But you will also observe. So, as you will be going home, go and set up your topic. Give your level of class you are teaching. Assume the class you are teaching from the early years and primary. Then get your lesson. I know camera have taken us. Because it's one of the errors in when you are standing in as you are talking and probably you pick, the camera will show. That's why when you watch the National Assembly, you will see some people sleeping. Yes, because the camera is everywhere. So that is error. You understand? So you get your topics, get your class. Doesn't mean copy the class you are formally taught. Get the class, prepare the lesson notes, how you are going to get, don't just formulate. Get a textbook, get a topic that you know is important. Prepare the lesson notes In fact, the best, use one foolscap sheet, not plain sheets. Use foolscap sheets and prepare the lesson note. Because when you are coming to do, we are not coming, we don't expect, we are not coming to praise you how you can teach off brain. That is not our own concern is. You bring the lesson note, and the lesson note is supposed to be around you, so that you'll be able to follow steps. Because in the lesson note, you are going to prepare this, you are going to give us the steps how you are going to do your presentation. It is that lesson note that we are going to see your lesson aid, your teaching aid. It is that lesson note. We will know what you mean. Teaching aid, to instill. We will know if when you are teaching, you will come with what? To instill. From there, we will record you. That is when we are going to describe you a mediocrity. So you have a name and go when you are not ready, when you are not going to prepare. And when we know that you are bad, we will reduce your salary. Because you don't want earning whatever you are earning. If we see that what you give to us here, and if you give to our learners, you are going to suffer from what we call educational mediocrity. We'll ask you, go, we'll call you back. All what we are trying to do is, the purpose of the seminar is to do what? Train us. But however, error we will see in you is our own to do what? Give you how to do it. If you actually do it with sincere heart, every correction made, you'll be able to adapt it. You'll be able to use and replace. When you see the wrong thing, remove it and place the right one, and you will get it. So, you have your timetable. You know what we are going to do. If we have spent this time, I think that 2 hours, we decided to jump that random teaching. We wanted to see how you start your class. That is the purpose. Because tomorrow you are going to do the real thing. Because of the time, we don't want to drive in. It's supposed to run, I think, 2 or 3 hours for that very practical aspect. But since we didn't start in time, I want us to leave here before it is 2 o'clock. We are not going to run a blind seminar. We hear talking. We know those areas that need a long, we will follow. Please, if you are a presenter, go back and reframe your presentation. Make it in PowerPoint. It gives people relaxing in reading, following up, attractive, not a screwing one. Because a screwing one, before you talk the number 10, someone who has seen it have read everything. As you are talking, is doing something else. That is why it's not good to be also writing a note. After you finish writing notes, before you then say, it's not good. Okay. We don't need to talk much, but bear in mind that those in charge of, there will be a refreshment. Those in charge of refreshment, please use this. Anybody's name is not here, don't give. Anybody that is the name is not here, because we have a timetable here, shows here registration. It's supposed to come and register. Okay, so use this. Even we, when we attend big seminars, I used to attend seminars, not now. I have been trained by both Nigerian and British. When we used to launch in hotel, sometimes 2 weeks, no matter what, you must go and indicate what you are going to eat and indicate your name. So those offering the thing will take first the attendance. They use the attendance and compare with those who are signing. Why is it that those who are here are 12, but attendance is 20? Do the ghosts come around and fill form to eat the food? Okay, like what I said. Like what I said. So that is how children are there. Okay. So I